What you doing out here, talk Tanner theacstories with this the alcohol anime special. It's not a special day. I don't know what I was about to say. I don't give a fuck about the date. I'm coming out of the gates blazing. It is the last Thursday of April if you're listening to this. But it is what people call Easter. Uh yeah. That's all I have to say. I don't care. It's Bunny Day. It's Egg Day. Whatever you want to say. And I, I don't. I don't care. I'm gonna move on from that. So you probably also already know that the movie I watched for this month is Pokemon Giratina and the Sky Warrior. And you may be thinking that is such a random movie to be watching. It's like, yeah, it is. You're right. Ah, but before I get to the movie, I'm going to get to the alcohol, which is I did not think of a name for this at all. I have no idea what I'm going to name this. Oh, okay. But what it is? Okay. Well, I kind of gotta get into why I chose this. I just wanted to. I'm not doing anything today. I don't give a fuck about Easter, like I said. So it's like, I, nobody's gonna bother me today. I'm just gonna go ahead, watch a movie, drink, record alcohol anime, and do fine. And that is what I'm doing. But I didn't plan for this. And liquor stores do not sell liquor. I think I could still go get beer today. But I couldn't get anything else. So I was like, well, what do I have? And the only alcohol I have is a returnee of the lavender limoncello that I've had for years at this point. And I'm glad to say it is almost done. If I really wanted to, if I was determined to, I could finish it. I'm not going to. Then the other thing I have is a beer I brewed. This mint chocolate chip stout. And I was like, okay, what are the excuses I can use for this? And my excuses are lavender. That's kind of like a springy thing. I don't know if limoncello is. Lemony kind of things is more summery to me, but yeah, it's the bottle. Is very pastel like colors, which I feel like goes with the Easter kind of springness of it. And then mint is kind of a spring flavor. Mint is kind of weird because you think peppermint, you think Christmas, but then you think other lighter mints. I think more spring like. Chocolate bunnies. I just now thought of that. Mint chocolate stout definitely. I don't know. I'm sure there's people who drink stouts in the spring. I mean I am. But I think that more of a winter thing or colder weather thing too, just because how thick they are, kind of thick. Other excuse. Oh, well, I thought about going and getting, but it just didn't seem worth it. A couple days ago, I saw in I think it was Home Goods. Home Goods or TJ Maxx. They're right next to each other, right? Pretty much the same store. I saw hoppy water. It's just that. It is just water, but hop flavored water. I was like, I could get that. Rabbits, they hop. It is Bunny Day, but then bringing it back to my stout, it has hops in it. I know it does. I put them in it. I'm the one who brewed this. It does. It's not a very hoppy tasting beer, of course. It's really the mint chocolate flavoring overpowers everything else. Oh, and then the last thing I guess is I'm drinking it from just a pint glass, but it has a jackalope on it. It's a jackalope brewery glass that I've had. Has it been a decade at this point? Almost. I'm getting pretty close to it. I just got it at a local pub from a tasting. I've had it ever since. Even through moving, this class paint has lasted. Um, but it's like, oh, well, that's close to a rabbit. And you're like, well, what's that still have to do with this movie? Like, well, okay, so Shaman, the Sky Warrior, is flowery, like springy, spring kind of colors. Also, and I never thought it. I thought I used to see people kind of say it, and the ears kind of look like it. It reminds me kind of like a jackalope, in the sky form, or kind of bunny ears esque, maybe like a tiny deer, but like jackalope kind of. And that's my excuse. It's almost rabbit adjacent, I guess. So yeah, it's pretty much just another excuse of drink. I feel like, yeah, it's probably lazy, but like I said, I didn't plan on doing this right now. But I also didn't really have another plan for April. I mean, what would April even be? I don't know. I didn't look. I have a list of stuff. The reason I chose this film, I guess I'm moving away from alcohol. Oh, the taste. I have no idea what the name is going to be, but this is a rough one. It's not. It's better than I thought. This limoncello, one is solid. I don't know if it's still good. I feel like it's going to hurt my stomach by the end of this. I think I already kind of, my stomach's not feeling great from this. It's not like disgusting though, but it's just something off-putting about it, and I don't like it. Just I don't know why. If it's just I drink too much of it already, or I don't know. I not even drink a whole lot. It's just been sipping through the movie. But it's not crazy about it. I have no idea what I'm going to name it. Springing. That's it. Sure. Springing? Question mark. Springing. Yeah, that's the name of it. My springing? That's my drink. I don't. Spring, because, like, springs, like, spring into spring, like, spring is kind of like also another word for hopping, similar to it, at least. I don't know, something like that. Also, my head kind of hurts. But that's the alcohol portion of it. Now, going into why I chose this film, that the excuse for that is, I already had a list of stuff I could watch. Nothing of them screams April or Easter, but I was helping one of my younger siblings move, like the second from youngest, and while moving. There was 2 Pokemon movies that we found just stashed away. A whole lot of just old stuff that was probably originally mine. I know some of it was mine. I don't remember the movies being mine or just more family thing. But it was this one, Giratina and Skyward, and then Heroes. And I kind of remember Heroes. I don't really remember this one though. I kind of vaguely remember watching it at some point, but I don't remember when that would have been. But yeah, and I was like, well, I'm just going to take these. You don't want any more? You think you're an adult now? You think you moved on from Pokemon? And yeah, I guess so. So I'll take them if you're just going to toss them. So yeah, I took it back. And then, what was that? Sunday? I think that was Thursday or Friday. It was literally a few days ago, and I was like, that's probably the other reason why I was just like, well, hey, let's go ahead and just watch this. I already have the film. It's a good enough excuse. I kind of want to see if my DVD player even works anyways. It does. I also watch The Magicians a lot. I have the box set DVD of that. But so I was like, well, let's see if this DVD works. And it does. It works fine, surprisingly. For a movie that is, I don't know when I would have got it. It's older than I remember though, because me going back, I didn't really get to play I didn't get to play Diamond and Pearl, but I did play Platinum, and that was right before at the time I moved to high school, which was 2009. I got it right when I was moving, so I got Platinum, and so this movie's older than that, right? Yeah. I don't know when it came out in the US. I'll get to all the informational stuff. But yeah, so the old movie is older than I realized. I must have had it longer than I realized. I don't know how. I probably got a yard sale or like an old video store or something that was selling out of stuff. But yeah, that's why I'm watching it. Of course, home. Nobody to bother me, I guess. Yeah, so what is this movie? Okay, let's get to the informational stuff. So, oh, I'm not reading that. Oh, so the literal, I'm not reading the Japanese name of it because I can't read kanji. And literal meaning of this movie is Pocket Monsters, Diamond and Pearl, the movie. It's the longest name. Giratina and the Bouquet of the Frozen Sky. Shaman? Such a long title. Why is this a thing? This is one I'm going to have to give the win to the English title. Pokemon Giratina the Sky Warrior works. Also, not much of a warrior. Shaman's kind of a little bitch. Really annoying. Probably my least favorite part of this film is just Shaman in general. But yeah. It is 96 minutes. Alright. I mean, that's what I would expect. I'm trying to think. It felt kind of long. A little bit. There's reasons for that. It came out July 19th in 2008 in Japan. I have no idea when it came to the US. Yeah, wow. But yeah. It was aired in the US in February 13th, 2009 on Cartoon Network. Wow. And so I assume the DVD. Would it have this information on the box? Maybe. I don't want to get up and go get it though. But yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. It was the first film. Viz would later re-release the film in 2015. Oh, I don't know about. I'm gonna get that box. Hang on. So I don't know what. What? Well, if that, it's definitely not mine. If this is the re-release that came out in 2015, because I left home by that point. So I definitely want to have got this for myself. It's saying 2009 on the box. So I'm assuming it is 2009. I don't know. Is there what's in the box? Hang on. Oh, I think this is the first DVD. Yeah, this is the first DVD for alcoholandanime. Huh, works out. Oh, there's a platinum. Oh yeah, no, of course it couldn't have been 2015 if this is in here. So it must be the original release because there's a platinum little advertisement paper in here, which for coming out available March 22nd, 2009. So there's still. Well, would this have been in the case if it was a rental? Came from a movie store? There's no way we bought a movie new. My family doesn't buy anything new. So, we must have got it from like a yard sale or something, or maybe like somebody just gave us this at some point. It's also such a random one. Did it come with the game? Dang, it has Pokemon cards in here? Platinum. That's it? That's all those cards? Ranger. Diamond and Pearl. Explores the time and darkness. Damn. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, so, yeah. 2009. Nice box. I kind of want to get. I wonder if I could get the original. Oh, I don't have a VCR, but I do know I had at least the first movie, which I already did on here. I watched that digitally. The third movie, 2000. I don't think I had those on VHS. I was going to say VCH before VCR. It's a VHS. I'm getting distracted. So, and then the fourth was one of my favorites, and I didn't have that one. And then Heroes eventually. But yeah, let's move on. That's informational date release. Directed by Kunihiko Yuyama, screenplay by Hideki Sonoda. This is part of a quadrilogy. So like I just assumed they kept churning out movies that pretty much didn't connect to each other. Of course, the two Mewtwo movies being kind of an exception. the Lucario movie has a Mew in it, right? I don't know if that's the same Mew though. But apparently, this is a set of 4 movies that are connected, like direct sequels to each other, and this is the second of the 4. And there's a point I do bring up later. And it's like, is this something that happened in the series that I just forget about? Because I didn't really. This was on TV before I was really streaming anything. I don't even know where you can stream this. So I was like, was this part of the series or no? It was the first movie they reference in this movie, and then it continues and it follows Dialga Palkia, and then Dialga and Giratina, and then those 3, and then Arceus, and then the 4th one's kind of the outlier. Maybe that one's not connected, but it's included once I looked it up. But it's that surprised me. I didn't realize that. Oh, Darkrai's in the first one too. Let's see. Music is who I'm interested in. Shinji Miyazaki. Oh. Distributed by Toho. This is all stuff that you can easily look up. I don't know why I bother. 4.8 billion in the box office. I don't know if that's good or not. But yeah, it's my first DVD. Maybe one day I'll go back and do my first VHS. But for now, I'll just stick with this. So that's the more informational part of it. Let's go to why I actually thought of the film before I get distracted by anything else. Because apparently I took a lot more notes. It was kind of it felt straightforward, but I thought it would be a little disappointing. Because if you know Giratina is like the ruler of the alternate dimension, the upside down dimension. I don't remember the name of the actual dimension, but alternate dimension or world or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Oh, another note I had was talking about Pokemon Platinum. It's just looking at there's a trailer for it, Pokemon Platinum. So aside from what's in the box, you also watch the trailer, and just watching it, it seems like the older games just have so much more to do than the more modern games, and because modern games try and kind of fail and be like, well, we gotta focus on graphics and stuff. Fucking graphics are the bane. Graphics, story, cutscenes, fucking ruin the core of what makes a game a game. It's not that you can't have them, but they should not be the priority. But so yeah, less to do in newer games. But yeah, so there's that. Okay, now the actual film. We start seeing a globe of the world of Pokemon, and I don't recognize the landmasses. Like, you should have a pretty decent idea, and I think it was kind of cloudy, so maybe you can't, but I don't know. I don't really recognize anything going on. But there is a nice overview of the world, though. And then we come up to the main border of, I say game protagonist. I don't know what the Diamond and Pearl. So there's Dawn, and then who is the male protagonist character? I don't know. But facing on Inferior. That's just, a little thing to open up the movie. Also, was there a Pikachu thing? Like a little short? I guess not. I didn't write anything down about it. But anyways, so the film. There's a little shaman. And how else would you say the name? Shaman? It's shaman. Shaman, yeah. Huh. I don't know. I say names a lot different than the actual pronunciations, and now that people are starting to realize what actual pronunciations are, like, well, no, we got to change. Now, fuck that. I'll be calling it what it is. But also, they would have said the name in the film, so I don't know if they said Shaman or not. But yeah, just running through the woods. Then Dialga pops up from the water, and then Giratina pops up, who's being monitored mysteriously. Not controlled. At first I thought Giratina was being controlled, but that's not it. And then drags Giratina and Shaman into the reverse world. I guess that is what it's called. Then we see someone named Newton Graceland and a little shield on. Man, I feel like people just are not as amazed by fossil Pokemon as they should be. Because they don't occur naturally, but nobody really gives a fuck, apparently. But yeah, they're already in the reverse world observing. Shaman sucks up some pollution and blasts it because I guess Giratina just... No, there's pollution already in the reverse world. That's right. That just does stuff. I think somehow the reverse world and the main world, they're not connected, but they affect each other. And I think there's a little didn't completely make sense stuff, but they just had to say things. But yeah, there's pollution that comes into the reverse world from the main world, and Shaman ends up sucking some of it up from, I think it's mainly from getting scared or whatever, and then it blasts a hole through dimensions and helps Dialga escape. Two, then the hole is glitched for Giratina because Dialga made like a little time loop thing, and now Giratina's stuck. Oh, and then opening credits are simple and quick. Apparently that's all I thought about them. Are there? Did I put a lot of classic music? Oh yeah, that's it. That's my music note. That's why I want to make sure I said who did the music. It's fucking A. There was I do remember it. It's like straight up just, what is this? It would have been like nearly 10 years at this point of music, and they're still using the same stuff, which is fine. And then they just change it up a bit, more modernize it. Now, this is where we meet up with our main heroes. Or main hero, because one literally doesn't do anything. It becomes like a running bit in it. But Ash, Brock, and Dawn, and all their Pokemon are about to eat. And I have no idea where I would try to put this in the canon of the Pokemon anime. I know there's like, I consider there's like manga canon, which does have a manga, but it's completely different. Anime canon, game canon, movie canon, which can be different than anime canon. But if I was to place this in anime canon, I have no idea where it'd be, because it's been so long since I watched the Diamond and Pearl series. It was like kind of the last one I really got to watch. I think a little bit of Black and White, but I don't really think I got to watch too much of it. So I don't know when. Ambipom is still here, so it's before Dawn gets rid of you or lets you do like table tennis stuff. That's the only thing I could really guess about. And this is the second of 4 movies, so it's somewhat early. If you hear little noise like this, I got a little Dunsparce figure, kind of Dunsparce. It's not completely accurate, but it almost seems like a little fidget toy. Well, I'll try to put it down. So yeah, they're there. Pokemon are eating. Then a dusty shaman comes, tries to steal foods, and then explodes, which is apparently its sea flare. And then it's about to get jumped by all the Pokemon until Dawn saves it and bathes it. And then Shaman knows telepathy and knows English somehow, and then it talks in their mind with an attitude. Okay. Oh shit. So then it's taken to the Pokemon Center. No reaction. Once again, this is the mythical gratitude Pokemon. And they're just like, yeah, it's a Pokemon. Which is what I appreciate the most, actually. There's no reason to get, like, so caught up in legendary and mythical and all this shit. They're just Pokemon. My whole Pokemon Done podcast is wrapped around this thing that humans have this misinterpretation, or like they really try to exaggerate what Pokemon are when they're just creatures. Yeah, they have powers, but they're not as otherworldly as you think they are. Like, they're not, the Pokemon Dex entries aren't literal scientific discoveries about them. They're more like tales. Like, they're just wanting to tell some kind of fantastical tale about the Pokemon a lot of times, because most of it doesn't make sense. That's why that's why my story of my Pokemon Done podcast is how it is. But yeah, they're just like, yeah, it's a shame, man. It's a mythical Pokemon. Ooh, no, we don't give a fuck. But yeah, it wants to be taken to the Flower Garden. There's going to be an event where they fly away together. But yeah, then we see Team Rocket spying from a closet and wants to swipe Shaman. Ooh, so they know what a mythical Pokemon is worth. And then all of a sudden, everyone but Brock, everyone including Team Rocket, because they're trying to snatch up Shaman, is sucked into the reverse world, and Brock is just left out. Aww. So Ash and Dawn try fighting Giratina once they get there, until Newton pops up and stops them. And then this is where I was like, have they witnessed the Dialga and Palkia before? And yes, there was a previous movie about it. So yeah, Shaman also can use substitute, so that's at least two moves we know about: Sea Flare and Substitute. I didn't think about keeping track of that, but because we think Giratina's trying to take Shaman away, but Giratina's pretty gentle about it, and that's kind of the first clue of like, oh, Giratina's not trying to hurt Shaman. But yeah, it'll turn out to be substitute. Ash and Dawn are able to find a way out. It seems like, oh, this would have been hard to do. Then the whole thing about this, like the main antagonist, who is named Zero, we're about to meet who that is. It's like, oh, I want to be able to go back and forth. They go back and forth in this film so many times. Towards the end, they're literally just swapping back out, and it doesn't seem hard. Newton seems to know what's going on. It does take a little bit for them to go back, and I was like, oh, it'd be cool if they just hop back and forth throughout the movie, and they kind of do later. But yeah, and then Team Rocket's just stuck there with Newton. Oh, apparently Newton doesn't know how to get Team Rocket out for some reason. Yeah, so now we get an actual introduction to the real antagonist, named Zero. Who's deciding to make a move to also steal Shaman with a bunch of Magnemite, Magneton, and a Magnezone. So the group, Nairi, and Brock, they escape on a train. Well, everyone else also doesn't give a fuck about Shaman. Like, it's cool. Like, there's as much enthusiasm if I see any dog in public. Like, but it's not even any more special than, like, what if I saw a ferret in public? Like, there's less excitement for these people seeing Shaman than if I saw a ferret. Because I can't. I love ferrets. Sorry. Last time I saw a ferret in public, it was embarrassing because it was so cute. And it was. Anyways. So yeah, they learn about the Gracia flower. Gracia flower. That makes more sense. Oh, the Grace is in the name. And one of them has one, and it helps Shaman turn to sky form. And then they're attacked on the train by all of those Magna lines I told you about. But they fought them all off. And then next, they take a boat up the river. So it's kind of like a little. Now that I'm thinking about it, it really does kind of feel quick. I think it's the very end of it just feels like it drags on. Because, of course, the fighting, more actiony stuff feels like that. And because they just try to throw out more stuff out of nowhere, it's just like, the fuck? It's like they realize they only have so many movies, and the fourth gen has way too many legendaries, and they just have to throw them in, but we're not there yet. So now we learn more about Zero. Going back, I don't know, it's like a lot of flip flopping, but Zero used to be an assistant to Newton. Yeah. And now everyone's sucked back into the reverse world. A lot of this doesn't make sense. Hey, spoiler alert, make sure you watch this. For listening to me talk, because otherwise you'd be like, what is this? But what I'm saying is accurate to what happens. It's just the movie, it's a short movie, they have to keep things just like constantly going. So yeah, and then Zero follows. So Shaman challenges Giratina, fucking stupid, but Shaman now is just a little cocky little asshole. Also, I haven't said it yet, been a douche to Ash this whole time. For some reason. Almost like a flirty level, but also a douchey level. Ash just be getting all of them pokey hoes for some reason. Oh no! The other movie I have is Heroes, or Latios tries to make a move. Oh shit. Yeah, so Shaman now can fly and challenges Giratina, cocky little dick. And then loses sky form because there's no light. Stupid little shit. And they're moving on. We see Team Rocket has been acting like pupil servants to Newton now, and like just doing what they need to. There's 5, I guess, and Newton's fine with it. But yeah, then when you think, oh, okay, things are settling down, Shaman gets carried away with Magnemite. They're not keeping their guard up for shit. And then Zero makes Shaman suck up a bunch of pollution to get a big enough sea flare to help Giratina. And also, they fuck up the Magnemite. They're just gone. I don't know where they went. Maybe they got sucked out instantly. You just don't see it. I don't know. But they're gone. They got obliterated. Those poor Magnemite. And there's no... it's a sea flare that can open up a hole in the dimensions. Or reality or something. So yeah, I think it will... Even if Magnemite's still electric, and Seafloor would be a grass move, I still think it wouldn't matter. So, yeah. Now everyone else is sucked back to the real world and start Team Rocket. Now that Giratina's out in the real world, changes forms, and is captured by lasers. Ta-da! And this is the only part of the film I actually kind of vaguely remember is not even this, but like Giratina eventually falling out of the sky. That's literally the only part. And I think I saw that on TV now I'm thinking about it. Just one day. Not even from actually choosing to watch a movie. I think it just one day I saw it on Cartoon Network or something. But yeah, so this is where the main action and the ending action takes off and doesn't stop until the end. So yeah, Newton designed this machine that Zero is using in order to be able to go back and forth, or I don't really know the whole plan. Maybe create a permanent entrance to the world, but stop since it would require the sacrifice of Giratina. Alright, so everyone but Brock and then the Team Rocket fly off to stop Zero. So and it was just a gag this whole movie, Brock being left out, which is shame. Yeah. And then after some air fighting, Newton gets in to hack the system because apparently Zero decided not to change a damn thing. Which is one, Zero probably lazy, really just relying on Newton's work. I was like, what's the point of all this? Like, you didn't do anything else? Like, okay. And, like, not even for security measures. You thought, like, no one was going to be able to get back into it. Either you had a lot of faith in Newton, which, cool, I guess. But also, it just seems a little dumb, doesn't it? Be a little more prepared for yourself. And, because it's a movie, Newton is able to stop it at 99%. Because it always has to be last minute, last second, last percentage. But doing this also shuts down the entire aircraft. So, Giratina crash lands. The only part I actually remember from the past. And everyone just thinks it's dead right away. Like, way too soon. Like, you're not even going to check. And this is where we get to see Shaman use at least a third mode, aromatherapy, and it helps. I guess Giratina was just paralyzed a little bit. That was it. So you really just didn't give a fuck. And then Zero bursts out of the water in a Giratina-shaped aircraft and goes back to the reverse world. Or all that worrying for nothing. It just didn't matter in the end, did it? And then Zero starts destroying real world bubbles. And all it does is create a little pop in the real world, which seems like it wouldn't really matter or do much, but this is where it's just like, okay, well, we gotta start escalating things out of nowhere. So while Aston Shaman is following Giratina back to the real world, the popping ends up like kind of like how an avalanche works, but it pops a glacier, and a frozen glacier melts. And they kind of alluded to this, so there was a little bit of foreshadowing earlier. But this glacier melt is suddenly moving again and it's starting to go down this valley and then eventually crush a town. Yes, it is big enough to crush a town. And then here comes Regigigas getting woken up. And I was like, the fuck did you go from? I don't think there's a single mention of Regigigas. And you're like, oh, okay, Regigigas. Are the other Regis going to come? Of course, two of them don't exist yet, apparently. Yeah. No, the ones helping Regigigas is going to be just a huge herd of Mammoth, like a lot of them. But before that, there's just a bunch of wild Pokemon. Then Dawn's, it's a couple of Dawn's Pokemon trying to freeze the water because fuck them underwater Pokemon. They're getting fucked. The only Pokemon underwater here, they're probably swimming, I guess, away from it, so maybe they're okay. But they're fucked. You know, oh no, those poor Pokemon. But yeah, so when Regigigas and the Mammoth Swan come, it just shows there's too many there to do anything. A bunch of them line up against the wall. Regigigas is pushing it, which it's so big. But then there's just a bunch of other Mammoth Swan who are just standing in the back like, what the fuck am I doing here? Why did I come? Fuck it. I'll be here cheering them on, I guess. It's just there's just something funny about it to me. Seeing all of them come, and then some are just like, well, I'm here. Oh, okay. Okay, so now we're seeing kind of Zero's reasoning, if you can call it that. Zero wants to stop the pollution in the reverse world from the real world, and I guess wants to destroy the real world, and for some reason that will help. I don't know, flawed logic, but I can't say. I never thought about wanting to see this world destroyed. No, the world. Humans. Humans are terrible. Imagine if I had if I was in the Pokemon world, maybe I would be in Zero's place. But I don't want all the Pokemon destroyed. I don't know. So yeah, Shaman ends up using another sea flare to send the ship back, and then it gets frozen. Like, pretty good frozen. So it all works out. And then Shaman and Team Rocket also get sent back. Ash and Pikachu end up riding Giratina while it restores everything, and then they're brought back. So yeah, the day is saved thanks to, well, just a mess of stuff, really. So yeah, and now, well, what about Giratina? Giratina just flies off to go fuck with Dialga some more. Literally, probably one of the funniest things in this entire movie is Giratina's like, I didn't learn my fucking lesson. Dialga, get your ass back here. We're picking up where we left off. Fuck yeah, Giratina. And now that I know there's a movie after this where Giratina's also in it again, I kind of want to watch it now. I kind of want to watch all these. Like, they're not phenomenal movies, but you know how it can. If you know how, you can have fun with them. I think I had a blast with the first movie too when I rewatched that for this. So yeah. Now, Shaman transforms with the other Shaman and flies away, and Ash cries like a little bitch. Which Shaman was just a douche the entire time, but it was kind of one of those friendly, like, yeah, we're going to be dicks to each other kind of thing. And yeah, and then that's the end of the movie. Credits roll. And the credits are more scenes and stuff. Starting with, like, you're seeing, like, the group that they've seen on the train. They're meeting back up with them. Which is, I guess, cool and random. It's like, hey, we followed you to your little gathering. A little weird. Then it shows Regigigas leaving with the Mamoswine. Newton with the police getting Zero out of the frozen ship and stuff. We see scenes of flowers getting sent to the main trio's families. There's Magnemite and that Lion are just pretty much chilling freely while there's a bunch of Aron and Lyron eating away stuff. Then, to just end this, we see Team Rocket blasting off again because of Regigigas. Another little fuck you for no reason, I guess. Okay, so how distracted did I get? Not too distracted. So, yeah, it's a decent film. It's been so long since I watched these Pokemon films, and I was kind of getting tired of them. I know when they were coming out, and how they just don't fall neatly into canon. I remember being a kid and watching them, and it was like, well, this is where the series is at. Then a movie would come out, and it was like, whoa, wait, you don't have these Pokemon right now. You're supposed to have these. And like, why is this happening? And for some reason, as a kid, my brain just could not function and be like, oh, wait, okay, this just takes place at a different time. Somehow you had a little side adventure away from everything else. And so, but now it's a whole different topic of like what's considered canon and all this stuff. And there's different types of canon and all that. I'm trying to remember if there was anything else significant in this film. Not that I remember. Was there a nurse droid that was taken over by... Who is this? Or is that an AI? There's another character. I feel like it was a nurse droid, but I don't remember. I took literally no note about this character. It may have been like some kind of AI or digital person or assistant or whatever. Huh. But yeah. It was kind of like a cool time. I really liked the Brock and Krogunk dynamic. I thought that was always funny and the mystery behind that. But Brock just really didn't get to do much during this. What kind of shame. Poor Brock getting shit on. Brock's always kind of got shit on through the series. But yeah, So the other films are called The Rise of Darkrai. Interesting. I don't remember there ever being a Cresselia. I always put Darkrai and Cresselia together, but I don't think they actually have anything ever to do with each other. But I always thought of them like that. Then the next one is Arceus and the Jewel of Life, and it looks like it has all of them in it. A random Pichu on cover. I'm just looking at stuff now. Oh, my Inferno, so that's okay. A little Grottle, some Pokemon evolving. It takes place a good bit into the future, I guess. I still don't know how long a season or how long was the whole Kanto arc and all that stuff. And then the last of the four is, well, where to go? I was literally looking at it before. I did this. I don't know. It was like something in Zoroark, which is a Gen 5 Pokemon, which is surprising. But I don't think I ever get to. Oh, yeah. Pokemon Zoroark, Master of Illusions, which is interesting that they put that. Probably just to help bridge the gap between the 4th and 5th gens. Yeah, it's neat. Oh, I wonder how much time passed in between each film. Because it looks pretty much like the same. Oh, Apom is still with Ash in Rise of Darkrai, it looks like. So that's neat. Huh. Yeah, I mean, all this is different movies, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, the movie's fine. Nothing crazy about it. Yeah. Short. But also, of course, there could have been more stuff. We pretty much didn't see any of whatever this city was, which, it seemed like it would have been a cool city, I guess. Of course, we hardly saw anything in the reverse world. That probably would have been my biggest thing. Is I wish we could just saw more of the reverse world, because it's such a cool idea, and to just hardly see anything about it. Man, I guess there's no reason to drag this on. I can just finish here. I'm trying to see if there's any significant music it's listing. The theme song for the film is One by Crystal K. Huh. I don't know who this is. I don't remember the song. I'm assuming it's the one that's playing at some point. Oh, that's an interesting little trivia thing. Crystal K also played the voice for the Nurse Joyce Chansey in the film. Just a random thing. I don't remember what it would have been. Of course, this is dubbed. I don't think I ever showed up, but of course, if I have it on DVD, most likely it would be dubbed, which is fine. I'm used to the Pokemon dub. Anything I watch as a kid, I'm okay with because I grew up. Also, because dubbing early 2010, so I would say 2010 and before, the dubbing was different than it is now. But I would say probably 2014 and before. Before 2014, there's a switch that they did that just made it weird. And I think it's because they try to make it seem more professional or whatever, and that somehow made it worse, less passionate. I don't know. And now it just all sounds. They use the same people. It sounds so much the same. The voices are less unique to me. But yeah, that's just a whole different gripe for other different stuff that I don't need to get into for too much. Was there anything else? I don't think so. Otherwise, it's just going to be random rambling. And I should just getting on, Yeah. Are they still making new Pokemon films? I really don't know. The one was Zarude. Zarude. I say Zarude. Because Zarude just, it makes sense, but I don't like saying it like that. I think that was the last one they actually done. There might be other movies or stuff. But it would be neat if I could get all these actually watch them to see how well connected they actually are. Because it was a surprise, and a nice little surprise that these are connected. But yeah, so that's gonna be it. That's all I really have to say about Pokemon Giratina Sky Warrior, or if you want the Japanese name translation, Pocket Monsters Diamond and Pearl, the movie Giratina and the Bouquet of the Frozen Sky Shaman. So long for no reason. Holy shit, this would have been a light novel. But yeah, that's it. Decent movie. Older than I thought. My drink was I still have some. It's just I don't know, just a little bit. Um, you see it in the thumbnail. It'll be hidden in there somewhere. I haven't made the thumbnail yet, but it's hidden in there somewhere. You see what I have. But by the time I remember to take it, I took the picture right before recording instead of before or wherever I actually made the drink. But so you do that, and it's just springing, something like that. I already have an idea though for a short. I'm getting back into making shorts for these, and it is my least done but still done one I've done of the past two I've done so far recently. But it's to amuse me, so yeah, I guess you can look forward to that. But that is going to be it for this alcohol anime. If you want to talk more about this movie, other Pokemon films, all that stuff, leave comments if you can do it wherever you listen to this. Or find me on social media, the AC Stories. Email me, theacstories@gmail.com. I have a Discord also. Links should be easy to find, and so you can do that. But yeah, thanks especially to my Ko-fi Patreon supporter, Julio Vasquez. If you also want to help support me, you get these shout-outs. You get notes to like what I was referencing while I'm talking here. You get stories I write, all kinds of other stuff. You can do that, but that is it for this month. I've been your otaku Tanner, the AC Stories. Until next month with something I actually do know what I'm going to be talking about because it's a theater film. But that's it. Bye.